Most people learning Python and AI never actually build anything. In the past years, I've built dozens of Python and AI projects, both personally and for work, and I've taught hundreds of thousands of people to do the same. So today, I'm going to show you a clear and simple process to take any idea and turn it into something that you can actually ship. By the way, if you want to get a cheat sheet that summarizes the whole process we're about to cover, link in the description below. Let's break it down. Step 1 is write down the project idea and the problem it solves. Most people skip this. They have a vague idea in their head, they go open the code editor or ask Claude Code to start building for them. Only 2 weeks later, they're rewriting everything because they were actually never clear on what they were making and why. So before you start building, write down 3 things. What you're building, the problem it solves and who it's for, and how you know it works. I'll demonstrate this with 2 projects I've done. The first one is the personal project where I analyze my handwritten journals locally on my laptop, and the second one is a work project where I help my colleagues automate a pension benchmarking report by extracting the right information from PDF reports using a rack system. So here's what I'd write down for these 2 projects to get clear on what I'm building, what problem it solves and who it's for, and how success looks like. For example, for the personal project on local journal analysis, I'm building a local tool that transcribes handwritten journal pages and lets me search or ask questions to service memories. The problem it solves is that years of handwritten notes are locked away because they are not searchable and they are not analyzable. And success to me means that I can accurately transcribe my handwritten texts, and I can ask questions like, what problems do I repeatedly struggle with, and get relevant insights. And finally, the system has to be able to run locally and feels fast enough to use regularly. For the pension PDF benchmarking automation, I'm building a retrieval augmented generation system that pulls key pension metrics from various PDFs reports across different providers and different years and outputs a clean benchmarking table for the team. The problem it solves is that manual PDF extraction is tedious, slow, and error-prone. And for the success metric, it has to extract key metrics with 80% accuracy, and it has to provide correct sources for cross-checking the outputs. If you've heard of the concept of PRD, Product Requirements Document, think of this as a lightweight version. Just enough structure to stop you from building the wrong thing. Because if it's a personal project, you don't need a 5-page spec. Once you start, the details become obvious and you make decisions and write things down as you go. But get clarity on those 3 questions first. It just takes 5 minutes and it might save you weeks. Now that you know what you're building, the next step is to find the smallest possible version of it. Here's what most people do. They have a good idea, they imagine the full version with a slick UI, real data, multiple features, and then they try to build all of it at once. And no surprise, they get overwhelmed and never finish. So if your idea has 10 features, cut 9. Keep the one that makes it real. For my journal analysis project, it was simple. A local vision model has to correctly transcribe my handwritten pages. Nothing else mattered yet. Once you know what that core feature is, think through the shape of the solution before you build. So this is step 3. Before writing any code, ask yourself what's the input and what's the output. In general, every piece of software takes something in, does something with it, and produces something out. So think about the input you need. Does it read from a file or call from a data API? What the transformation looks like apart from the core feature that you worked out in the previous step? Do you need to store anything? And finally, what should the output look like? Some text, a table, or dashboard. It also helps to have a vision of what the final thing should feel like to use. For example, a web app or a terminal tool or a script that runs on a schedule. A rough sketch of moving parts is enough to get you started. You can use an AI assistant here too. Give it your 2-sentence idea of your project, ask it for a simple structure, and decide what actually makes sense for your situation. And now, with a clear picture of the solution, it's time to set up your project. I'll be honest, this step feels boring. It's the part everyone wants to skip. But I've lost hours debugging a broken project only to realize the issue was a conflicting package version. Or I didn't set up version control properly, so I lost the work of a whole afternoon. So after you create a project folder, set up a virtual environment so you can avoid all the headache of dependencies and package version conflict. Create a requirements file, create a .env file to store all your credentials, write a quick readme file, even just 2 lines, and start a Git repository. And don't worry, modern Even tools like UV can help you simplify a lot of these steps. So do it once at the start and you'll thank yourself later. Now the real work starts. This is where you build the core of what you're making, which is the core logic or the backend. This is the heart of the project, the one function that takes the input and returns the thing you actually care about. Get it working before you touch anything else. For example, if you're building a tool that summarizes documents, you should be able to get one document in and one clean summary out before you add anything extra. You can absolutely use AI to speed up this process of building this core logic and make it work. And to me, the best way is work in small iterative steps so you understand what's happening, and when something breaks, you know exactly where to look. And make sure you have a way to evaluate and tell if the core logic is actually working. You can do this typically by collecting a set of inputs and desired outputs, example called the reference set, and you use this data set to evaluate your solution against the success metrics that you defined earlier. When the core logic works, even in the ugliest form, you've already won. Everything after this is optional, which brings me to the step that's both exciting and dangerous. Let me show you how it goes. You have the core working, so you start thinking, maybe add a dashboard, maybe swap local storage to a real database, and add user authentication, deploy it to the cloud. Each of those things is generally useful, and AI can help you build any of them fast. But here's what actually happens. You add one thing that opens up 3 more ideas, and you go down a rabbit hole of software engineering. The project gets bigger, more complex, more broken, and suddenly you can't remember what you were originally trying to build. This is where a lot of projects die. Not because people aren't good enough, but because people never drew a line. More on how to stop this in a moment. Okay, once you have the smallest version that works, ship it. Push it to GitHub, document what it does, and deploy it somewhere so there's a link you can share. When other people can actually see and use it, you get real feedback to iterate on, your confidence grows, your portfolio grows, and you finally feel like you can actually build something. But here's the thing, shipping isn't the finish line, it's the starting point, because from now on you just keep making small improvements and ship it again. Now there's some traps that stop most people from actually finishing their projects, and you need to be aware before falling into them. The first one is called tool paralysis. One afternoon, you finally sit down to build your project. Then you fall down the rabbit hole of choosing which framework, which vector database, should you use Fast API or something else. 2 hours later, you're totally lost and you've made nothing you could call progress. I know this too well because I've done the same. But here's the thing, tools are just tools. Nobody spending guitar spends months comparing brands before learning their first chord. They just grab a beginner one and start playing. Same with your project. Just pick something accessible, actually learn it, and see how far it carries you. And if you're worried about choosing the wrong tool, AI nowadays can help you swap one framework or one tool for another in just minutes. So whatever tool or framework you pick today doesn't matter as much as you think. What matters is that you learn how it actually works. Now here's another dangerous trap that took me much longer to realize. I used to stay up until 2 a.m. for days polishing a project before I dare show anyone. I felt exhausted and frustrated, but the problem was simple. I never defined what done meant. There's always one more interesting feature, one more cleanup, one more thing to polish. If the finish line keeps moving, you never cross it. So before you start, write one sentence. For example, done when I can ask questions and surface memories from my handwritten journals locally on my laptop. That's it. Every bell and whistle, like a fancy UI or user logins, is a version 2 idea. Write those down in a separate list and you can always get to them later. Suddenly, finishing becomes possible. You feel more confident and less imposter, not by making perfect things, but by finishing small ones. If you're ready to start building, I have a Python and AI project playlist on this channel where I walk you through real projects, and a lot of them are end-to-end. And if you want to get a summary of the project workflow that we covered today, link in the description below. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.